It looks like our runners are off. And hook shot. And a pizza.
So hookshot in Link's house, it's a great early find. It helps out with the movement quite a bit if you know where to use it.
And like Novasu is going to do the uncle play right here.
Yeah, and Reg is going for a Houlihan, it would appear. Just some arrows from the tree pool.
Now that'll be useful later.
Yeah, it depends. If our runners actually enter go mode before entering Ganon's Tower, you go straight up. You don't really need the small keys. You need one.
True.
You can get that from under the pot. One of the trolliest items in this version of the game is the Ganon's Tower Big Key. So if you found everything you need for the 7 crystals, but you're still missing that big key, the decisions you make are sometimes quite difficult.
Yeah, that thing can be just about, actually could be anywhere except in the last 3 chests. 4 chests.
Yep, that's correct. Well, and not in the Ganon's Tower Big Chest either, but yeah, it's pretty much everywhere. Just a map on the floating island. Ray gave us the floating island check, and it looks like they're going directly towards the Eastern Palace. Meanwhile, we see the bush crab just has hearts today.
And just some bombs from Novasu here at the Lumberjack. They're probably not going to go for that.
So Desert is the green pendant. Sir Hoshel has given us info. It's much more useful to find that out here. And we're seeing all the value behind Sir Hoshela.
That's a loaded Sahashala's hut.
Yeah, we got the Moon Pearl and the Fire Rod. So one of the other things with Keysanity is you do not initially know what the pendants and crystals are. So the maps tell you that if you can find the map for the dungeon, but another way to find out is Sir Hoshela. Talking to him will tell you what the green pendant is, and the owner of the bomb shop in the Dark World will tell you what crystals 5 and 6 are. So that has valuable information.
And then generally from there, once you get enough information, you can figure out what the rest of it is off of that.
And the music is also shuffled, so you can't depend on hearing, like here right now in Eastern Palace, we hear pendant music, but that does not mean that Eastern is a pendant.
Das Boots.
So Novasu is also finding a lot of value in Blindside here. We have the boots. The Eastern Palace Big Key is pretty important. Reg will have to double back the Eastern Palace later to check the big chest. We also have the Mushroom and Ice Rod.
Bombs were at Lumberjack. A Planeswalker.
So it looks like Novasu found themselves with 35 rupees and no bombs and decided to come back in to farm 1 set of rupees to go buy bombs. It's a little bit of a time sink, but it's a good way to handle the situation. He'll be able to go buy bombs and continue clearing Kakariko. This is one of those reasons why the Houlihan start can help out a lot. So Reg got through the dark rooms just fine, actually using the hookshot to make him even faster.
And Novasu finds the Quake medallion there in Chicken Hut.
So not much value in Eastern Palace itself, but Sir Hoshula's hut certainly had a nice selection of items for Reg. The only downside is that the Eastern Palace Big Key being early makes a potential early double dip required. And we did get a quick map check there from Reg for the Hera crystal or pendant, and it turned out it's a regular crystal.
And Kakariko just keeps delivering here.
Yep, we had the Hammerer in the well, so we're getting the components for Dark World access between our runners. Right now, we're just looking for that lift upgrade.
And it looks like Novasu's going to pick up that big 20 there. Kind of low on money, so I don't blame him.
And Novasu is doing a blind race game. This is pretty popular strat, especially in Keysanity, when there are just so many items you need. It seems very likely that one of them will be here. And even if it's something you don't strictly need, if you've already gone through the work, it's very little effort to go pick it up.
I would say that's something he probably needs, though.
Yeah, not only is it something useful, it's something that just makes all your movement much easier throughout the game. If it turns out there's nothing in the mire area that's required, they're not going to complain about getting that early anyway.
So, Korak, what do you think Novasu is going to do next year after activating the flute? Is he going to go over to Eastern, clear that out, or maybe go somewhere else?
I expect the South Shore play. The
Okay.
one advantage from the early flute, the one thing that makes it much easier compared to other times is that South Shore, you flute to 7, you get the dam, and short trip to the mini Moldorm cave. And that's
Very
what
true.
they're doing. I think Reg will have a very interesting choice between doing Escape or South Shore. Most likely also doing South Shore, but if they made a different decision and actually found the glove there, it's potential that they won't have to do South Shore early unless they elect to. Another item we might find pretty soon is the mirror, because combined with the flute, the mirror offers access to East Death Mountain with that hammer. So that would open up quite a few items. We don't actually have a lot of keys yet, which is pretty interesting with all the items we found.
Did you see what was in that first chest for Novasu?
It was a pod small key.
Okay.
And Novasu is running over. It would be a little bit faster to flute to 8 and probably a lot safer, but you know, you get that early flute, you have the boots, you probably aren't even thinking about it.
Guilty as charged there.
Yeah, I think everybody's done it. And we find the bug net.
Super important. Well, it's a great safety item as well. Just in general, but mostly good for just killing Aghanim.
Yep, the good news is that Novasu has that location marked off. They never have to go back there. So that's always a good win. And Novasu is going towards Eastern Palace for the next check. So they will soon have their Fire Rod and Moon Pearl. And our swag duck is activated.
And Novasu also now knows where that green pendant's at.
And no big surprise here. Our runners are checking what the other person has already checked. So Novasu's in the Eastern Palace area. Reg is on the South Shore. We'll see what happens after they converge and what decisions they make next. And for Novasu, they will have a little bit easier time here having the boots. It'll go a little bit faster for them. Plus, they get to check that big chest, which if it becomes something important, like the Power Glove, that could really end up hurting Reg.
You need the sword in order to do Aghanim 1 because of the curtains.
Yeah, it's generally harder for Keysanity to require Aga for Dark World access in particular, because both of the Castle Tower keys have to be placed in accessible locations in the Light World. That happens sometimes, but not enough. And even if those keys are placed there, then the conditions for the item placement also have to be such that you have to do Aga Tower to get to the Dark World. More common would be an item in the Lumberjack Cave that's required, and you then have to route that in later.
And I was actually also looking at the statistics on pedestal seeds, actually in Keysanity. It's actually lower than like in your standard open or standard. It's like 3.5-ish% in Keysanity. So it's just another example of how the odds kind of change in Keysanity and how you have to make your routing decisions around that.
Yeah, but don't worry. If you're a fan of trolls, Keysanity can find other ways to troll for you.
All right, what's in that big chest? A big 20.
So Novasu, more than anything, gets some peace of mind out of that check. Reg, I know it's in the back of their mind. What's in that chest? And Reg is rescuing the old man using the boomerang as a sort of a sonar device here.
And Novasu is using the hook shot as a sonar. Like Reg is going to go ahead and get some health here. Kind of low.
Yeah, Novasu struggled a little bit with the damage boost, so I think they're just going to try to do vanilla strats in clearing out the room here. Still got to be a little bit careful. So Reg is making their way to East Death Mountain with that hook shot. We have 7 chests here in Paradox Cave. We have Spiral Cave, and with that hammer, they can also get 2 chests out of Tower of Hera. And Novasu is right behind them. So our runners are pretty much in sync here. Novasu has not yet rescued the old man, but otherwise they'll be doing similar checks.
There's some literacy. The Dark Palace Pizza. The Ice Palace small key. A Turtle Rock small key. And a big 20 to top it off.
Yeah, so that book allows them to see what's on Ether Tablet when they make their way over there. They won't be able to get it, but they will be able to see it and know if they need to come back, making it a priority once they have Master Sword.
Novasu also attempting the bomb jump here. And he gets it.
Yeah, that does save not only a couple screen transitions, but also some overworld travel. So it does save more time than you realize if you can pull it off.
Yeah, it's a little harder without the sword, but still, as we see, doable.
Okay, well, they have the small key for Hera Basement right next to Hera, so at least that's a convenient spot. All right, so we got a Turtle Rock small key. That's 2 now total, but still looking for that Dark World access. So Reg will be moving back and checking Spiral Cave. But right now, they're starting to run out of things that are within the logic. They do have boots plus the book now, so that opens up 2 items in Desert itself, plus the ledge item. Nobody has been to Agha's Cave yet either, so 4 items in that general area. I expect our runners will go there next.
Especially with that Desert Palace small key, that opens up some stuff that they can get out of there.
Yeah, so quite a few items over there, and not much anywhere else, so I would expect them both to head that way next.
Did you see what I saw there?
Yep, that looks like the glove sitting on the ledge, so not only will we have some items in here, but they'll be leaving here with Dark World access. Now, another way you can route this when you have the small key is to just go directly to the right. The reason why you generally go to the left in the regular modes is because your key is either going to be straight ahead or to the left. But when you already have the small key, you can just go over to the right straight away.
And then there's the Swamp Palace small key, so we don't have to search for that now.
Yeah, that key gatekeeps all of Swamp Palace.
It was like Novasu is gonna go check Aghanim.
Yep, so our runners are checking the same places, just in a little bit reverse order. But now with the entire Dark World opened up, it will be interesting to see. Now, Reg just got the Cape, which puts another item available in the Hyrule Castle area. So while they do have Dark World access, they don't necessarily need to rush there. And Greg did find the Ice Palace Big Key. I always love to find that one early. That way you don't have to make the call of doing Ice Palace without it. So as Reg picks up their piece of heart out of Aghanis Cave, we'll see where they decide to go next. They have Village Valcast, they have South Dark World with Hype Cave, they have Hyrule Castle. So we shall see.
I think we're going to see some Hype Cave.
I think you're correct.
And I think we're just missing the mirror for also a swamp play as well.
We need the flippers too.
That's right. Yep.
But we're getting close to that for sure.
Well, looks like Hype Cave is delivering. Got ourselves some Titan's mitts and a shovel.
And also the red shield. So that's a very Hype Cave. And right now our runners can technically clear Ice Palace, but it won't be in logic until they get that flippers that we just talked about. And Reg taking advantage of the bomb shop, finding out we have Skull Woods as one of our red crystals, as well as the Palace of Darkness.
And some Ether medallion.
Yeah, so the mitts are interesting. We do have the early flute and the hook shot. We are missing a sword, but with 2 medallions in play already, we don't have the big key yet, but Meyer could be an earlier play in this seed, depending on when we find that sword.
Just some love from the digging game.
So Nova doesn't have any bombs, and they seem to have skipped Hype Cave. You can buy up to, I think, 25 from the bomb shop for 100 rupees, and they're not lacking in rupees. So hopefully they think of that and go right back. Unfortunately, saving quitting from the digging game. So Novasu hit up the bomb shop in Kakariko. He might just not have thought of the Dark World bomb shop, because you only think about that sometimes for that super bomb. But they do sell that pack of regular bombs as well.
That saved me on multiple occasions.
And now that we've just come off of Death Mountain, we have the Hera Tower, Tower of Hera big key.
It looks like Reg is going to be dipping into Thieves Town here. Without the big key, you won't be able to get very far, but there's still 4 chests that he can check, and it's still valuable.
Yeah, Double Dip Thieves Town is pretty much the norm in Keysanity. It's 4 really quick chests, and very often you'll be missing something that you want to have before the back half. Either the big key to lock you out entirely, or maybe you're missing the hammer or the small key, and you just feel it's going to be a better play to come back later when you have what you're missing. And Red getting that heart refill right when they're ready for a death warp.
That animation.
So Novasu is making the quick check on King's Tomb. This is a great check to get out of the way.
And that pays.
Yeah, finding the bow early, great find. We already have the big key for Eastern Palace. Now, without the lamp, it's still a sequence break, but they can finish that up when they want to. Also, that opens up a lot of pod access. So great find, great check from Novasu.
Yeah, that'd be like 1 less key you need for pod with that bow. So that really does help out.
And a sword from the Bonk Rocks. Those boots were blocking a lot of good progress. And Reg doing the a nice route through Skull Woods. If you don't have the small key, you know you're going to have to come back for that second chest. So it's easier if you just wait, open that chest in the first room until you come back, and then you don't have to worry about all the holes in the way.
And that chest is guaranteed to be a small key. Yeah, with half magic and Fire Rod, Mothula is going to go down pretty quick here.
Yeah, although they are still on green mail, and right now Reg has 4 hearts. They'll probably try to refill a few before that, but Mothula is still a difficult fight. Having the half magic, though, makes it a lot more manageable. The hammer can often make Mothula a much faster fight, but it's also somewhat more dangerous. And with the number of hearts they have with green mail, I would expect them to use the fire rod until they're out of magic. And chat's actually pointing out something important, which is Reg did not pick up their sword yet.
That's right. This is not swordless mode. You have that curtain to deal with.
Yeah, so this is going to be a nice efficiency. This is the second efficiency that's worked out for Novasu. The first was having the Eastern Palace Big Key the first time he was there, whereas Reg didn't. Now he's going to have a sword the first time he's in Skull Woods, where Reg does not. So Reg had quite a few interesting choices available, and this is a good one. Checking out East Dark Death Mountain. Those myths open up 6 items that you can get pretty easily and quickly, and you can also scout out what medallion is required for Turtle Rock. Novasu is continuing on for Mothula. Reg is using that, putting that Tower of Hera Big Key to use first before doing Dark Death Mountain. So yeah, that's an additional 3 items. Great play on their part. We don't know yet if it is a crystal or a... Oh, we do know it's a crystal. That's right. Reg did check their map. So Novasu checked the chest here first, probably hoping that it was something to make this an easier fight. Unfortunately, just a big 20.
And Rage did find the Swamp Big Key as well.
Yeah, so once the flippers are found, plus the mirror, Swamp will be full clearable.
So for those who are wondering, the compass in Keysanity shows you the count of chests that you've opened up. Hence the 3 out of 6 that you're seeing at the top there on Reg's screen.
So no real progression items here in Hera, but we do get that crystal, so that's a good form of progression in itself.
Sounds like Novasu is going for Mothula here, doing some hammer strats. And unfortunately takes a death.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. The hammer is definitely the faster approach, but it's also the more dangerous approach. And opting to just come back later, so it'll be interesting to see if that's an important decision or if it's just a timing issue. And we see that Quake is the medallion requirement for Turtle Rock.
Can't quite open it yet, but even then, like, he still needs Samaria. Yeah, you have to have a sword in order to use medallions, and oh, that castle tower is interesting because that opens up an extra item that he could get. Because the 2 chests in Castle Tower do in fact contain just random items, just like everywhere else.
Yep. Currently, it would be a sequence break until they get the lamp, but it's a doable dark room. It's probably the most doable dark room there in Aga Tower. The ones that are really tough are the ones that have the giant holes and narrow pathways.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we're about to get a spike cave check as well.
He does have half magic, so the cape should be able... He should have enough in the cape, right?
I believe so.
Especially with the boots, yeah. He has to be careful not to bonk. And he makes it. And gets rewarded with 3 bombs for his trouble there.
So if you see the Sanctuary start, that would lead me to believe that Reg is going to go check the King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks, which would be a great decision at this point. But we're leaving behind the King's Tomb. Maybe they just routed left to right here.
He's gonna be pleased to have that sword now.
Yep, sword and bow, back to back. So that opens up a lot of interesting possibilities here. This is really good routing, so checking in the back of Escape with those 2 locations.
Well, we're 1 step closer to a swamp play, I would say.
More importantly, Ice Palace is fully in logic at this point. We have the big key, we have one of the small keys, we have the hook shot, we have fire rod, hammer, flippers, Titan's mitts. That is probably a place that our runners will end up pretty soon.
I didn't quite catch a medallion there.
No, I didn't either. Another one of those small keys for pod. So it looks like Novasu is making the play that Reg made a little bit earlier, which was go to Hera and then check Dark Death Mountain. Reg is remembering that shovel he picked up in Hype Cave, so good idea to get this out of the way. Just a piece of heart, though.
And chat's right. Ice Palace still is not in logic, though, because we still need Samaria to finish it. But they still can complete it with the Ice Palace bomb jump.
It looks like Reg is going to do some combination of pod or the pyramid and catfish in pod. We'll have to see.
He's gonna pick up that map, and it's for Misery Mire. And that is in fact a crystal. It's number 4.
So Reg grabs the pyramid. Looks like they were not going to do catfish, then had second thoughts.
I mean, catfish is just one of those like out of the way locations. It's kind of a pain to get to, especially without the mirror, so you can't like route like Zora into it.
Yeah, I found that catfish has required progression a high enough percentage of the time in Keysanity that if you're going to check the pyramid and you have boots, it's a pretty good time to go to do it. Probably very happy to see that pod key.
That would put that would make pod almost completable. They still need that big key. Yeah.
Reg had a little bit of a misadventure with the super speed there, but coming down here, going directly to pod, I would think.
So I have a theory that Kiki's actually the one that locked this.
Seems like a pretty good racket, if so. So starting out with the Desert Big Key in House of Darkness. Now that's a pendant, but that actually opens up 3 items because it is the green pendant. So I expect, given that we have the bow, we're going to see this little hallway here in Palace of Darkness potentially a couple times this seed. The reason why you might want to do this in Keysanity is because with the bow plus the hammer, you can completely avoid opening the front door, and that will save you a required small key.
The Desert Palace pendant is marked because it's the green pendant, which is required for Sahashala. And Reg finding the mail upgrade there, that'll certainly help out a little bit.
Yep, mail upgrade is very nice. Novasu looks to be taking that bow and just going to finish the Armos Knights. It is a sequence break until they get the lamp, but it's not the hardest one, especially when you have the fire rod, and it's possibly required. With the early big key, it seems somewhat likely that there's either a crystal or a required item behind it, so this is good play.
And we finally got our first bottle of the game out of the harmless hellway. Alright, looks like Reg is going to go for the hammer yump. And he nails it.
Yep, got there at right at the end and made a perfect hammer yump.
It's like a GT small key. At least we can see, like, from the text.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Well, there's our second Ice Palace small key. So it looks like Reg is getting a death warp here. I wonder if they're going to go all the way back through for the one chest you can fall down to. I think that's probably a good idea because that chest opens up with just the bow plus the hammer or just one pod key. And Novasu did not find an item that they were looking for, but they did get a crystal out of their Eastern Palace fight.
It's a pretty good hallway dash there.
Looks like Reg is opting to spend their last small key and getting the last items that are not big key blocked, which is a reasonable play because you're likely to get one more key if 3 more are technically required.
And that's a vanilla big key. Or
Yep.
vanilla small key. because there was no
Got a
text there.
vanilla key. So when he comes back, he'll be able to, as long as he has a big key, be able to get the rest of the items. It looks like Novasu is going for the fake flipper. It'll be interesting to see what he does once he has it.
Well, moderately vanilla. Has a little spice to it. It's like, I don't think we've had a hobo check, right?
We have not. Reg has not checked the Light World Flipper Locked Overworld locations yet. So, question chat, what does Keysanity do? Keysanity takes all of the dungeon items that occur in chests, like the small keys, the big keys, the maps, and the compasses, and they shuffle them into the regular item pool. So you can find them anywhere. You can find the big key to Galen's Tower in the Chicken Hut. You can find the map to Desert Palace on the pedestal. They're just in the regular item pool. So it adds a layer of complexity to the items you collect and the routing you do as you progress your way through the seed.
Looks like we're going to get a Zora play from Novasu here.
Yep, and Reg is opting to finish up Skull Woods with that sword.
Yeah, I didn't realize Novasu does not have the flippers yet.
Yep, Novasu has not yet gone to the back of Escape. Yep, the runners did check Ether Tablet. Is actually the Hera Basement small key. And yes, when you find a dungeon item outside of its dungeon, it does tell you what a dungeon it is for. And actually, for maps and compasses, if you find them inside their dungeon, they also tell you which dungeon they're for.
And we found our other male upgrade, Zora. Making good use of that medallion there, cleaning out those Gibdos.
Yeah, Ether is a very quick way to get rid of some Gibdos, so I approve. But oh no, getting grabbed by the Wallmaster. I think they might have gotten knocked into the vines or something there. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to open the vines there, but I think I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
I think he might have gotten knocked out of bounds by that mold worm or something. I don't know. That was really interesting. And Novasu is making the fake flipper into Ice Palace play. They can get everything while they're here, so this is a good decision in my opinion. It's just a matter of when they're actually going to find those flippers.
Say Fighter Sword Mothula is always a good time. But Reg goes ahead and kills him.
And Reg is probably a little bit upset. Just left Palace of Darkness with only the big key lock stuff left, and the very next item they find, the Palace of Darkness big key. So that's pretty big. It'll be interesting to see if Novasu ends up going back to Mothula before going to Palace of Darkness. It seems unlikely that he would, but it would work out really well if he did.
And Chad is right. That does unlock Pyramid, right?
Yeah, they will be able to get the Pyramid item.
Yep, once he finishes pod. Yep.
Now, the interesting thing is, it's kind of like a nuance of the logic, but technically, they would need all 6 pod small keys and all 3 Skullwood small keys in order for that Pyramid Fairy to actually be logically available. So the progression would be locked behind all 9 of those small keys. However, they don't need to wait till they get all those small keys to go check it. They can route it in with their normal routing. You know, it's no big deal to sequence break the key logic.
Things like Novasu only having 1 heart left and not being able to complete that bomb jump, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
And still without the mirror, Reg goes ahead and saves and quit after finding the frog. Go ahead and do this the long way. It's not so bad with the flute, though.
Yep. So we know the play that Novasu has to make is hitting the back and escape to find those flippers. And interestingly, I don't think either of our runners have checked the front of escape yet.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. There's another bottle.
Question in chat, can you flute with the big bomb? Yes, you can. It doesn't really have applications in standard randomizer, though. It does in entrance randomizer, however. So this is really going to work out well for Novasu. They are coming back to Skull Woods prior to going to Palace of Darkness. And they do have blue mail now, so it should be a little bit easier of a fight. A few more hearts than the last time. Now, Reg is checking the flipper-locked overworld locations. I wonder if this will lead him into Ice Palace afterwards.
Seems like Novasu is still trying those hammer strats. Very nice job there by Novasu, killing Mothra with the hammer. And picking us up that pod big key.
So Reg is making the play to the uncle and the front of escape. Now, we did see the second Ice Palace small key in the Dark Room and Pod. It wouldn't surprise me if the lamp's actually in Ice Palace before you would need that small key. It's something interesting because the game always assumes you're going to use your small keys in a very, let's just say, unoptimal manner. The second two chests in the front of Escape are actually not in logic until you find the Hyrule Castle small key. Because in theory, you could take the first key guard's key and go all the way back through the sewers and use it.
It looks like Reg is gonna go ahead and do Castle Tower here. It's a couple chests. One of them is locked behind a dark room, which would be out of logic, but I don't think that's gonna stop him.
And Novasu is electing to do the front part of Escape first. So just a hard Naga Tower. So it is interesting that we're at the 1 hour, 3 minute mark, and both of our runners are in the front of Escape.
And with a level 1 sword. Is this standard or?
Yeah, that's a good point. Level 1 sword still. Based on the current items, I fully expect the progression to be in either Mire or Ice Palace. And since Ice Palace is the one of those two that they can fully complete, that would likely be the play. They can also get 3 items out of Desert Palace, so that would also be a really reasonable play.
Like Novasu is going to try the dark room in the sewers up here. Shouldn't be too bad.
So, question about Desert. There are 7 items locked behind Desert in this seed because of the green pendant being there. However, our runners already checked the torch, the center chest, and the right side chest. So Novasu opted out of checking the Agate Tower chest. They didn't really miss anything important, but importantly for them, they are checking the back of Escape now, so they will get their flippers momentarily.
And he will be very happy to see those. Looks like you're right. We're gonna see some mire.
Yeah, they are missing the big key and the cane, but they can get 6 of the items. Now, technically, the left side items are not in the logic until they have all 3 small keys, of which they have 2 so far. But it's still a pretty reasonable play. They can get 6 items out of here. The backtracking is not too awful. You go to straight to the right side to the big chest and right to the back. So not too much backtracking when they have to come back, if they have to come back. And I guess it is a crystal, so they will.
And it looks like Reg also put a small twist on the bird toss there.
The bird carry.
Saw it here first.
It doesn't surprise me to see Novasu back here in Ice Palace. He clearly had that on his mind, and the only reason he left was because he ran out of health. Now he has the flippers, so he's like, okay, I was thinking the right thing. Now I need to go back there. Reg forgetting something at the bottom of the stairs here.
Kind of important. Here the firewood rod works better with magic, but just rumors.
It's the kind of thing that when you do it, you just shake your head when you're playing.
Mm-hmm. Another Dark Palace key.
Nova's trying to get their bomb jump down here. Seems like they're just a little bit too high when they reposition.
Yeah.
And it might be because of the fighter sword. I know some runners learn the setup based on the sword position relative to the bomb, and there he got it.
Yeah, these bomb things, whatever they're called, they can be a blast. Saw what I did there.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a pain for sure.
This is almost finishable.
Yeah, we got the nice vanilla cane, as it always seems to be, right there in Misery Mire. But now Reg is probably like, oh crap, I should have waited and see if I could find the big key.
Here, chat, let me see your cane emotes there.
So now Reg, if they go to Ice Palace, they won't even have to bomb jump at all if they don't want to. But first electing to go finish up Pod, which is a good decision.
Hey, G-Wig, thanks for the Twitch Prime subscription there. Support's much appreciated.
We got powder in the big chest in Ice Palace.
Looks like he's gonna get himself a fairy too.
Yeah, pretty clutch powder find, really. Nice health refill. Powder is a great safety item. It also is a fetch quest item, so good find. And Reg is probably really relieved to find out that that was just a big 20 there. I'm sure it's been in the back of their mind the entire race.
Yeah, we should probably be talking about what still control our runners with pedestal. Is it dead or?
Well, big keys can always be on the pedestal for Crystal Dungeons and Ganon's Tower, which we have not yet seen. That Ganon's Tower big key, which we mentioned at the top, can certainly troll a little bit. As far as traditional items, mirror. If Swamp Palace is a pendant or is a crystal. I think Reg meant to go to Desert Palace and took the Dark World portal by mistake. We'll see if they just go right back there. Meanwhile, we have Novasu doing the Fighter Sword Cold Stare fight. Not an easy fight by any means.
It's one to go here. And there you go. I say that's a PogChamp worthy.
And we find a big key, but it's just for the Skullwoods chest, so more like a fetch quest item.
Yeah.
For a dungeon where they already have every other item already. So interestingly, Reg did Eastern Palace first, then came here directly afterwards. Might have been a better decision to do this first if you had planned to do it, because then you could just turn in the green pendant on the way. But, just a minor amount of backtracking. And the thing is, we don't even know if the mirror is required yet. With the early swamp keys, it seemed likely that they're going to go in there, but it could be one of our pendants. We still don't know. Ice had a couple of fetch quests in the Skullwoods Big Key and the Magic Powder. So we're finding our third Turtle Rock small key on Lambo. That's great. To get to the end, if you steal a key, that's all you need. But there's your other Turtle Rock small key under the magic bat. So our runners will likely get all four. And Reg is now in Ice Palace. Again, this is a play that makes a lot of sense based on what they had, so it's no surprise to see them here. And Novasu is going to Meyer, so they're kind of swapping places now. So the interesting thing now is really finding out what dungeons have to be completed.
So if we can learn just what one more of these are, then we can figure out the rest of them. And that will definitely help our runners out if they know actually what they have to do.
Yeah, but if we find one more map for a crystal between Turtle Rock, Swamp Palace, and Thieves Town, that'd be enough information. But for the crystals we do know, logically we need the lamp, but otherwise we can beat Pod. We need the Misery Mire Big Key for Meyer. And that's what we're missing for those two. So not too much there. If it's Swamp Palace as the last crystal, we need the mirror, and then we're good. If it's Thieves Town, we need the Thieves Town Big Key. And if it's Turtle Rock, we need the Turtle Rock Big Key, and that's it. So we do need one more sword upgrade to be able to damage Ganon. And we also need the Ganon's Tower big key, but we're getting pretty close to that go mode number of items.
So I guess a lot of what goes to this point onward is just where is that 7th crystal?
Yeah, that's a really big decision right now. With all those Turtle Rock small keys, even if Turtle Rock does not turn out to be the 7th crystal, it seems somewhat likely that one of the items they're looking for would be inside. And given that this is Keysanity, hopefully I'm not doing a premature commentator's curse here, but if Swamp Palace is a pendant, it's perfectly possible for the mirror to be in Ganon's Tower and the Ganon's Tower big key to be in Swamp Palace.
That would certainly be a troll.
So Novasu finishes their check of Mire, while Reg is on their way to Cold Stare. Not having to do the bomb jump, they'll just go the traditional route here and lay down the King of Samaria block.
Alright, looks like Novasu's gonna dip back into pod.
Reg's making good use of those fire rod shots that they have, and it looks like they might be menuing to hammer. Yep.
The hitbox on the hammer is just so small.
Yeah, the hitbox is tough, but it does do tempered sword damage, so I think that should be, yep, that's the last hit. They got 2 fire rod blasts, which do butter sword damage, and then 4 tempered damage hammer hits. So this is actually Novasu's first trip in the pod. They only have 3 small keys right now, but we know there is 1 vanilla one here. So depending on how comfortable they are with some of these strats like the hammer yump, they could do a full clear while they're here. It's just a matter of what tricks they know and what they feel like doing while they're here.
I was like, Ray is gonna go ahead and get himself that. That was a pod big key in there, right?
This is a Turtle Rock small key. The last
It was
one
the turtle. No, not me talking. No good.
No worries. So, from Reg's perspective, they're running out of interesting item-dense locations to go to. I think they'll go finish up pod, but after that, it looks like Turtle Rock might be the play, even while missing that big key.
And Novasu getting that that jump over there, saving a little bit of time.
Yep, so the green pendant item was not anything exciting. It was just a bomb upgrade. Novasu is opting, it looks like, to get as much as they can, so they will get that small key as soon as they drop down. That'll get 4 keys in total for them, so they can very easily, with the help of the Hammer Yump, get all the items here and kill King Helmasaur. Now they will have to deal with dark rooms. That is something to point out. So it's not just knowing the Hammer Yump, but also knowing the dark room navigation.
And Novasu realizing that you got to go the long way around. Got to conserve that key.
So once again, both of our runners are in the same dungeon. And they've done a lot of the same things. Reg does have the Desert Palace check behind them. I think Reg will be looking to take a Death Warp here to save that small key to go kill King Helmasaur. Taking a Death Warp in the Dark Maze is somewhat difficult sometimes, but at least these guys do 1 heart of damage, even with the red mail. Meanwhile, Novasu is in his own dark rooms. The other thing that Reg might elect to do before going up the mountain would be the Pyramid Fairy, which we discussed before.
It certainly makes sense.
So Novasu is electing to save and quit. Everything else that was left was blocked by the lamp. So maybe they're just thinking about the logic or just not comfortable with the dark rooms. Either way, it looks like they're going to head possibly to desert. But restocking potions first. And Novasu is getting trolled by the Dead Rocks. Opting to just flute and try again. That's probably the best choice in that scenario. So yeah, I mentioned that before. The Fat Fairy is not technically in logic until they have all of the small keys. However, it's possible that the Fat Fairy at the pyramid has the Turtle Rock big key, and the front part of Turtle Rock has the small keys that they're missing. So there's no real reason to put it off. The front part of Turtle Rock also seems like a fairly likely spot for the lamp to be.
All right, 16 hits to the helmet there with the hammer.
Very nice fight by Reg. If you tuned in early to the stream, you saw Reg was actually practicing that strat early on and before the race started and executing it beautifully.
And Novasu's dipping into Turtle Rock here. I'm thinking this is probably where we'll find our lamp. It would be in the logic, right?
And we find out the Swamp Palace is a pendant. Yeah, and everything that they're doing in the front part of Turtle Rock here is logically available in sequence. It does look like Reg is going to grab that Pyramid Fairy on their before they make the play that Novasu is making, which is the play into Turtle Rock.
Making good use of that blue cane there, getting through those rollers with ease.
Yeah, I love the blue cane dash through that room. Just looks good. And it works well, too.
And that's the Turtle Rock map. We're going to find out pretty soon here.
Yeah, not only that, but Novasu just found the vanilla big key.
And Turtle Rock is, in fact, our 7th crystal here. Novasu is making the right play.
Yeah, they don't really have too much left, so if they go right into Turtle Rock, but they're fluting away, so I don't know what they have on their mind. I don't think they did the purple chest or hammer pegs yet, so I think they might just be getting everything out of the way just to put all the possibilities for that big key behind them before they go up.
Yeah, I think purple chest hasn't been done, but I think the hammer pegs were done.
Okay, yeah.
I think at least by one of the runners.
The Skullwood's big chest, again, probably another thing that Reg is just clearing out. So Reg actually has all 4 small keys and won't have any issues checking the vanilla big key spot in Turtle Rock. Novasu only has 3, so skip that spot.
And there's our lightsaber.
So I'm sure they're happy to finally get a sword upgrade at this point.
Yeah, at 1 hour 36 minutes, it's a bit rough.
We really are running out of places for the lamp to be, so I'm wondering if it is sitting in there in that vanilla big key chest.
And Novasu going for the safety exit here. Probably a good call. Really not getting a whole lot from the Turtle Rock Bridge.
So there are 2 things that could be in the Turtle Rock vanilla big key chest that would be interesting. Both would be really bad for Novasu, unfortunately, but the Meyer big key could be there, and the lamp could actually be in the Meyer big chest. Or the lamp could be directly there. I think the lamp would still be bad for Novasu because we did see them opt out of pod when they just had the dark rooms left. But either way, we're running out of spots, so we either need to find an item that opens up more spots, or the items that we're looking for specifically. Novasu opting for a hammer for phase 2 of Trinex.
Always a good time. And Novasu's probably happy to see that crystal right now.
So, one thing that Master Sword opened up is the Ether Tablet, which has a Hera Basement small key.
Yep.
That could have progression.
That would be a good time.
Reg all business after finding the vanilla big key. Didn't even hesitate. Because they don't have the mirror, it's a real pain to get back to that Ether Tablet too. So not only do you have the time to check the basement, but the time to get there, it's like a 2-minute check for one item. Maybe even more than that. I don't expect our runners to prioritize it, but the fact is they're running out of things. And this is going to be an important check.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Well, there's our mirror. That is very unfortunate for Novasu there.
Yeah, that's just tough.
So I think what we're missing right now for Go mode is the Meyer Big Key.
Meyer Big Key for Crystal Go mode, and then we still need that GT Big Key. Yeah,
Yep.
so now, like I said, we needed something to open up. Now a lot has opened up. Now, the good news for Novasu, they're definitely a little bit behind at this point, but they're getting their last Turtle Rock Small Key right now. So at least they'll have the item they need to get back to the mirror. It's just a matter of how long it takes them to get there. And of course, the last pod small key is just sitting in Mimic Cave.
Could you see Novasu maybe when they want to go back and check that Ether tablet, and maybe hit up Turtle Rock again and grab that last item?
Yeah, because they are running out. They know that they have items in pod that they can access, but it's a sequence break of the lamp, so they know there's something that they're missing in this seed. It could only be the lamp, but they might suspect that it would be worth going to check the Ether tablet and then checking the location in in Turtle Rock that they skipped. And Novasu is picking up that key. From his perspective, he's like, well, I just left there. He doesn't know how important it is.
Yeah, it makes sense Novasu would go and churn in that medallion there.
Yeah, it's a smart next play. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next.
I think Novasu is in fact returning to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, probably doing what you said, which is checking the Ether tablet and Terra basement first.
Mm-hmm.
But he could just jump right in. We'll have to see. Reg having really good timing on the menu. It's possible to get the last hammer hit down and switch to the fire rod before your menu gets locked. So Reg gets their 6th crystal, and just waiting for that Meyer big key for crystal go mode. With that mirror opening up so many spots, it's hard to know exactly what they're thinking, but Swamp Palace has 10 items. Looks like they're opting for the quick overworld checks, though. So starting with Checkerboard Cave.
No, just a lag ring.
So Hera Basement coming up empty. Novasu showing their frustration, and they're opting to save and quit out. So that's unfortunate. They're not going to go directly to Turtle Rock.
And Novasu's thinking here, what am I going to do next?
So I think for him, the only thing that's logically available is the chest he skipped in Turtle Rock. He can go finish Pod through sequence breaks, but it looks like he might be making the play.
Oh, that's really good.
But no, he pulls out the flute.
Aww. That is the best one to flute, because he can fill up at the old man.
Yep. I mean, what he's doing right now, he has to do at some point, so it's not a bad call at all. He's just going to be out of options after this.
Looks like we're gonna get a Bombos tablet check.
Now, what would be really interesting is if Reg runs into the Meyer big key before the Gannis Tower big key. Like, if you're halfway through Swamp, do you just peace out, go to Meyer, and then go to Gannis Tower, or you're already there, open some more chests?
I don't know. Personally, I would say probably open the rest of the chests, because like going back over here, like after you realize that you need it, can be a big time loss. Whereas if you're already there.
Yeah, I think if you opt to skip the left side, maybe you still skip the left side, but probably finishing out the quick chests in the back would be a good play. And chat pointing out, Lamp in Swamp Palace, that seems like its most likely spot right now. It'd still be in logic for the Lamp to be there.
And finally using that Swamp small key that we found a long time ago. That'd be an Eastern burrito, I think.
Yeah, we're already 2 items in and nothing to show for it. So we're all eagerly watching Reg making their way through Swamp here. It seems like the Lamp will be found here. Seems fairly likely the Meyer Big Key will be found here. Graveyard Ledge is still in play. That's the one overworld spot that they did not opt to check before coming here, but otherwise, this is probably where the value is.
Yep, looks like he's opting for left side here. Well, he has to, actually.
Yeah, and left side, I think, is a good play here. I mean, it's a conservative play for sure, but when you're missing that Ganon's Tower big key, it's, you know, it is such a huge backtrack, and it does take a long time to search the basement and come up empty, that this is probably a good play. And the Meyer big key could be over here. So just 50 rupees in the first chest on this side and bombs on the other. So we're running low on chests here in Swamp Palace. It could be Pedestal, but then we would need the Thieves Town big key to show up in here or on Graveyard Ledge. So if you're joining late, Keysanity is like a Link to the Past randomizer that you know, except in addition to the items being all switched around, the dungeon items that show up in chests or item locations within dungeons are also shuffled. So the chest small keys, the big keys, the maps, and the compasses are all in the item pool.
Well, there's our lamp. And our Misery Mire key.
Yeah, and it looks like with just 2 locations left, Reg is not chancing leaving the Ganon's Tower big key behind here. I fully agree with this. It's not going to take too much longer, and then you'll have the peace of mind of knowing Swamp is cleared.
So then what if the Thieves Town big key is here? On Argus.
If the Thieves Town big key is found before they make it to Ganon's Tower, it might not be a bad idea to just do that pedestal check just to see. Do you go and do Thieves Town before going to Ganon's Tower? Probably not, unless you know it's required from the pedestal, but it's not a bad call. They are still on Master Sword. They still don't have silvers. Even if they don't find the Ganon's Tower big key, they could definitely upgrade their arsenal.
So Novasu had just finished up pod here.
Yeah, they're gonna go check the Pyramid Ferry and come up empty, and then hopefully at that point they make the play that they need to make, which is go to Turtle Rock and find that mirror.
I have to agree with the chat. I would call the seed evil. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, and we still don't know if Gan's Tower Big Key could still be a fetch quest out of Gan's Tower if that Thieves Town Big Key is in there.
Well, chat, you wanted randomizer. Sorry, go ahead.
Just saying, we're not done yet.
Yeah, you guys wanted some randomizer. You're getting it. This is a small Skullwoods small key. Nothing special there.
No, nothing special. It just had to be located somewhere outside of Ganon's Tower, and it's at one of the last possible locations.
I don't see Novasu pulling out the flute. Never mind.
I'm not even sure what he has left, to be honest.
I'm not sure either. Oh, that's right. He can kill Mothula.
No, he went back and did that.
That's right. Helps to read the tracker. So then what is he doing? Purple chest?
It could be purple chest.
But first, blacksmith, probably. Yeah, he hasn't rescued him yet. Probably also check the pegs.
Couple questions from chat. Each match is a different seed. If two matches are being simultaneously broadcast, they will be on the same seed, but otherwise every match gets a different seed. And the other question, is there a daily race today? Dailies are taking a little bit of a break. They do plan to bring them back after the Keysanity tournament gets in rhythm, but for the meantime, there are no daily races. And when they do come back, I think we're back.
Yeah, looks like, yep. Looks like, oh no.
So yeah, good point. We do not have the Galen Tower Big Key yet. So what's your guess for the Galen Tower Big Key?
Oh, I did he check the pedestal? I'm not sure. I looked away for a second. I'm thinking it might be on pedestal if it hasn't been checked.
I'm going for a Thieves Town Big Chest.
Well, anyway, I guess you guys get to play the guessing game, I suppose. Kind of rare in Keysanity. Yes, Spike Chave was checked. At least by one runner.
So Novasu did pick up their mirror, and they're doing the prudent thing, which is going to check Mimic Cave.
And there's our third medallion. And, wow, well.
We got our Thieves Town Big Key.
Well, that happened. Still not over yet.
So yeah, both Pedestal and Thieves Town are very real possibilities for the Galen Tower Big Key right now.
Well, it makes sense. We did have trouble generating the seed at the beginning. Maybe it was trying to, like, resist being used.
That's very true.
And we're still in the level 2 swords as well. Hopefully we can find another sword upgrade here soon. Or else it's going to be some interesting Ganon strats here. Serverless level 2 sword is never fun.
I mean, the remaining items have to be somewhere.
True.
Right now there are 15 more item locations in Ganon's Tower, 4 in Thieves Town, and the Pedestal.
murdered Bob. Think we're gonna have ourselves a 100% seed here? And Novasu dropping that bomb on that green rupee.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close to 100% at this point. I think we're down to 10 spots for the Gannon's Tower big key. But hey, at least we have Tempered Sword now. And for those of you that were wondering what Reg was doing to not use magic, if you activate the cape and just grab onto the wall, you don't drain any magic whatsoever.
That is our vanilla big key. All right, well, whoever gets the last chest is our winner.
So chest 21 in Gannon's Tower basement.
So that would be go mode, right?
Yeah, Reg is now in go mode.
2 hours, 9 minutes, we have activated go mode.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if Reg opens up the chests on the climb. Obviously, Reg is a player who's been around a while. I'm sure they know how to do Silverless Ganon, but at the same time, when you've opened almost every chest in the game, it seems like fairly likely that one of those last 4 will have those silvers. Coming up on the end of the gauntlet here. Novasu's still looking with those mirror lock locations. Probably heading to Swamp Palace next. So we're past Land Mode 2 and working our way up the last stretch here. These very fun Wizard rooms.
It's so satisfying to one-shot cycle those. You have to be careful in that previous room, because if you go up the stairs at the wrong time, it's like as the door is closing, I believe is what it is, you'll despawn everything up here.
Yeah, it's frame perfect, but you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you'd have to leave Ganon's tower and re-enter. By the way, we found our butter sword. Still no silvers, but I stand corrected.
So after suffering with Fighter Sword for an hour and a half and Master Sword for another 40 minutes, we now have Butter Sword and silvers. And unfortunately, Troldorn doing what Troldorn does.
And a big 20 in the validation. I mean, the chest after Moldorm 2.
I mean, I know Reg is probably tilted right now, but I wonder how they feel about their matchup. They did a lot of stuff, but it would be hard to do it a lot more efficiently than they did it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd feel behind if I was Reg. I'd just probably be annoyed by the seed.
Aghanim too being pretty cooperative there. Nice change in pace.
Yeah, really nice fight.
So the races earlier today, there were a whole bunch of Ganon shenanigans here, with them just zipping around a lot. Hopefully this seed will be a bit kinder to Reg here, but
Already on to the third phase.
right, and Reg has beaten Gannon. And he clocks in with an official SRL race time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and exactly 3 seconds. You see those GGs. And Novasu now finds the Misery Mire key. And we're going to bring Reg in here for an interview.
Hey, Reg, GG. Congratulations on your victory.
Hey, Reg, you're muted.
Yeah, we're working out some technical issues with the Discord, but we will plan to have an interview here in a minute. Meanwhile, Novasu is working their way through Misery Mire to kill Vitreous. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey, can you guys hear me now?
We hear you. GG.
Yeah. There were 2 redeeming factors to that seed. Didn't have to double dip Ganon's tower, and I didn't have to Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah, you had a Fighter Sword for about an hour and a half, and Master Sword for another 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden, here's the rest.
Yeah. And that and the mirror both really impacted my routing, and I'm not a fan. It caused me to do a lot of garbage things. I was dead set against Fighter Sword Ice Palace until it was nearly the last possible thing. So.
Yep, but you made it through all right. I think you even had a pretty nice cold stare fight. I believe you got 2 of the puffs down without even having to use the hammer.
Yeah, I did. And I didn't have to resort to the potions either. Half Magic was real nice.
So it was a very long seed and a bit of backtracking and trolliness going on, but you handled it pretty well.
Yeah. Only thing I really could do there was keep pressing on and hope I didn't forget anything. I almost forgot Spike Cave, even though it's on the list.
So unfortunately for your opponent, their big setback was they entered Turtle Rock with 3 small keys.
I don't even remember where the 4th was. Was it in Pod?
For them, the 4th was on Land Mola.
Oh, yeah, that would be it. I'm guessing they went to Chinex and skipped the mirror.
Yep, that's what happened.
Unlucky. I'm a big proponent of skipping that chest wherever possible. But I entered with 4 keys.
Yeah, I think everybody that plays Keysanity regularly doesn't really think anything of, going in there with 3 keys and skipping that chest. But that really worked out for you that you had all 4 when you went in there the first time.
This is probably the saddest part of the whole thing is I muscle memory my way into that chest 90% of the time when I have 3 keys. But it would have worked out for me anyways, aside from the whole having the double dip thing. So... Yeah.
So you started out mentioning the redeeming parts of that seed. What was the part that was the craziest or the worst, or however you want to put it?
The fact that I structured so much of my routing under the assumption that I'd find the mirror in the mid-game instead of the end-game. I did so many things that would have been so much smoother if I had a mirror. And I'm frustrated with that. I'm also frustrated, like I said, I put off Fighter Sword Ice Palace for a very long time. Granted, it didn't really have anything in it besides the crystal and the powder, but... just very frustrating. It was your prototypical full clear Keysanity seed, except worse.
Yep. In the race, Novasu has picked up his 7th crystal and is on his way to Ganon's Tower to begin his search for that Ganon's Tower big key. We'll see which way he goes. If he goes right, he'll find it pretty quickly.
Yeah, he'll probably miss the tile room sword, but he'll get the upstairs one. He should get the upstairs one. He should still be looking at that point, I hope, for both sword and silvers.
Yeah, that seems fairly likely.
Actually, I would like to credit this seed with one more thing. This is going to sound kind of mean, but the lamp being as deep in as it was, especially with the early fire rod.
That was a very interesting lamp location. I would love to backtrack and figure out what is actually logically required for that, because all 4 Turtle Rock small keys were required for that to be in logic.
Yeah, I think the only things it did was it forced... I don't think there was anything in the Dark Maze of Pod, and there wasn't anything on Helmasaur or Armos. So I don't think it actually really blocked anything, except forcing you to do those later, if you couldn't do those rooms. Excuse me.
Yep. So. Yeah, it was just a very interesting late lamp.
Yeah, but since I did the Dark Rooms without tilting today, I was able to get a bit of an advantage off that, probably. I don't know if Nova can do some of those Dark Rooms or not.
So he did hesitate in Pod to continue, but he did go back and do them Dark before he went back to the 4th chest in Turtle Rock. Or the 4th key chest in Turtle Rock.
Also, setting up Death Warps in Dark Maze blind, that sucks. I don't recommend it. And I did it twice.
Looks like Nova is headed over to the left side.
Yeah, so he'll do a nice full clear of the basement here.
Yeah. Numerically, it's the right play, but it's just unlucky. Especially in this case, because there's no real bias on whether you get a key early or what, because you have them all coming in.
So, moving ahead, what are your thoughts on the tournament? You're starting out first day race, and you're starting out 1-0. Any thoughts, any expectations? Just having fun?
Signed up mostly to just have fun. Daily results recently have given me hope, but I'm trying to abandon that. Basically, the only guy that I'm actually legitimately scared to run into right now is ACMLN, and I don't even remember if he's in it or not.
I believe he is.
Okay, cool. Let's hope I don't see him. Because he beat me when I played my best seed ever last night. Feels kind of bad. But ACM's amazing runner, so no shame in that. Yeah, other than that, I'll take what comes, I'll play the matches. Hopefully the other seeds are more fun than this one.
So, saying that, what's your general thoughts on Keysanity? Do you prefer it? Do you think it's about the same and it depends on your mood? What do you think?
I generally prefer it because in my fairly limited experience, it makes the routing a lot more dynamic than standard and open, and that's my favorite part of playing. But then occasionally you get seeds like this one, or you get the one we had like the daily a month or so ago where there were 3 big keys in Ganon's Tower, and one of them led to the Ganon's Tower big key. Sometimes you get seeds like that and it's silly. But in general, I think I do prefer it.
Yeah, I agree with you. The dynamic routing aspect is what I love about Rando, and it definitely seems to come up. The situations are more varied and interesting in Keysanity in general, it seems.
Right. If I didn't like Keysanity more than Open and Standard, I'd probably be an NMG player. I don't know if you know my feelings on that one. But
So Novasu accidentally blew open the hole here by Bob, and I guess he doesn't know. You can just walk out that room and the tile will reset. He's leaving that chest behind. Luckily, it doesn't matter, but there is an easy way to get out of that situation.
I actually didn't know that one myself. Good to know. 'Cause I've done that before. It feels bad.
It definitely does until you realize that all you have to do is just walk out the room. So Nova is out of arrows. That's potentially concerning. I don't think there's any in these chests that he's going to open, so he'll need to go farm arrows before climbing Ganon's Tower.
I feel like there was one 10 bundle on the right side.
That would be very fortunate.
Not 100% sure, don't quote me on that.
There are arrows in pots on the GT climb, but there are none before the first Red Mimic room, where you need a minimum of 4 if you execute it correctly. There is a pot with a 5 arrow pack in the second Red Mimic room, however. And he just got that drop and skipped it.
Nice. Dashing in the Samaria block's always fun.
So I don't think he realizes he's out of arrows yet, but he will very soon.
See, I see on his tracker he got the Hera key. Did he do the basement? What was in there?
He did do the basement. It was, I think it was cash or bombs, something very minor.
Guess it couldn't have been much because everything was upstairs GT, but...
So unfortunately, we can announce that Novasu has decided to forfeit the race. He says he's too tilted to look for arrows, which is very understandable. This was a rough seed, especially for him when he got trolled by a location that every runner is just perfectly comfortable skipping over.
We have enough time for an interview for him?
Yeah, we can offer it up.
There is another race on this channel, I believe, in 18 minutes.
Sounds like I've got something to do for the rest of my evening then.
Yeah, coming up in 18 minutes, we do have a two-way race on this channel. F. Coughlin versus Zaphod Lieberrox IV, and Weighty Words versus Recidador. So that's a two-way race. Unfortunately, Novasu does not have the mic, but he will come in to chat.
Also, right now on Speed Gaming, we've also got Math Girl 718 and Tim Lobo. I'm not sure if that race is finished yet. It probably has at this point. But if it hasn't, you can go ahead and go over there.
Yep, and
Speed Gaming 3.
And on Speed Gaming 1, it's Liminality and Space Cowboy. So a couple other races going on right now, and a two-way race in 15 minutes on this channel. So plenty of
right now on Speed Gaming, we've also got
plenty of Keysanity races tonight for you.
Tim Lobo. I'm not sure if that race is finished yet. It probably has at this point. But if it hasn't, you can go ahead and go over there.
Yep, and
Speed Gaming 3.
And on Speed Gaming 1, it's Liminality and Space Cowboy. Coming up tomorrow, so on other races going on right now. Speed Gaming, we have in 15 about 20 races, it seems. So look at the schedule. Plenty of Keysanity races tonight for you.
I'm not sure if that race is finished yet. It probably has at this point. But if it hasn't, you can go ahead and go over there.
Yep, and on Speed Gaming 1, it's Liminality and Space Cowboy. Coming up tomorrow, so on other races going on right now. Speed Gaming, we have in 15 about 20 races, it seems. So look at the schedule. Plenty of All right, guys. I think the audio is taken care of. So again, we have more races coming up tonight, and all through this week. I see literally about 20 races on the schedule for tomorrow. Similar amount for Wednesday. Just, you know, if you love Keysanity, you're going to get a lot of it this week and the next 4 weeks of this tournament during this Swiss round, which will be followed by the 8-player bracket. So we've had a very active first 5 matches here in this tournament, and 104 per week. So we still have 99 more to finish up this week.
Ridiculous number to think about. I'm going to guess most of them will be more entertaining seeds, maybe less so for Twitch chat.
So just a reminder, this was a great race. These runners put on a great show for you this evening. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give them a follow. Really nice job working their way through this pretty trolly seed. Also, please feel free to follow our tracker, Voidburn Beast. He did a great job. Everything seemed to be on the tracker immediately. It was very helpful to keep up with this stream. And also, if you like the commentary, please follow my co-commentator, Sinak. It was great commentating with you this evening.
Yes, same.
And
it's my first time, but
Oh, I think you did a great job. And Reg, as the runner of this race, any final words for the audience that you want to put out there?
Quote me on this. Swamp Palace is garbage. Everything about it is garbage, especially the Argus fight.
Reg dropping the facts to end the stream. Anyway, 13 minutes from now, we have a two-way race on this channel. Please come back. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been Korek.
And I am Synac.
And have a great evening.